Curtis Penrod.
Here.
Wally Hanson.
Here. All right, public comment. Appears there is none. So moving right on to bullet point 3, revised parking standard requirements, and looks like there were some examples in the packet.
There were included at the beginning in the memo, just those recommendations that came again from Community Matters Institute and Barb Cole. Looked at several communities across the state. Edwardsville, the first one they listed, had commercial retail, 1,000 square feet per building floor. It did have residential as 2 per unit, but it had the commercial retail not really worried about the different type of commercial businesses. It just kind of per 1,000 feet. The strip shopping center, 4 spaces. The neighborhood shopping center, which are different size shopping centers, 4.5 spaces. And a community shopping center, 5 spaces, which doesn't seem enough for 100,000 square foot. Mm-hmm. But normally they kind of take care of themselves anyway. They're gonna put, and then it had some other standards there. Saying that such study is subject to review and approval by the city through the development plan review process. City of Eudora had, for a single family, 3 spaces, which is actually more. A 2-family, 3 spaces for each separate unit, and multifamily, 3 spaces for each separate unit. A hotel rooming or boarding house, 1 space per 2 guests and 1 space per 2 employees. And then it went on through a bunch of other categories. It gives you examples there for the hospitals, nursing homes, and medical and dental clinics, 1 space for each 100 square foot of gross floor area. Community center, theater, auditorium, 1 space for each 3 seats, which we talked about the seat thing. That can be sometimes problematic. Convention hall, lodge, club, museum, place of amusement or recreation, 1 space for each 50 square feet of floor area. Office building, restaurant, commercial establishment, mortuary, tavern, library. And they give an examples. And the one thing that they do have within it is for all uses not covered above in the other standards portion of it, the Planning Commission shall make a determination of the parking demand to be created by the proposed use. The amount of parking thus determined shall be the off-street parking requirement of the permitted use. That may seem all right in a lot of instances, but then it also does not give certainty to the developer.
Yeah.
So that you don't come up with some extreme amount based on what the use is. City of Roland Park, I went with the space per seats on churches and assembly halls, theaters, athletic fields, etc. Libraries, hotels, mortuaries, taverns, clubs, or drinking establishments, and mini golf courses. They must have a lot.
Got its own line.
1 space per 200 square foot of service floor area, plus 1 space for each 300 square foot outside area. So, and they also had that if it's not in this matrix, then there shall be assigned a parking requirement by the governing body. Again, that's not certainty to the developer. City of Paola, they do have a table. But they have one thing in here, and Zach had put these together. They had change of use should a lot or building owner or occupant change the use of said lot or building, the new use shall conform with the off-street parking provisions. And that is something, I mean, you set up the use, and Zach just had to be a little bit late, that's all. But, sometimes that can be troublesome when the use changes and it's a far more intense use than what it originally was. But then you don't really have an opportunity to require some more parking.
Yeah.
So, or make sure that it'll get taken care of. And they have some other things within the city of Peola there. They do have a required buffer area. On the next page, our parking spaces, aisles, and turning areas shall be located entirely within the served property's lot lines and shall not encroach on any road, driveway, or other public right-of-way. No parked vehicle shall overhang any road, sidewalk, access, driveway, or public right-of-way. Do you think any of our parking areas within town intrude out into the right-of-way?
Well, I got a guy, what is he, 2-3 blocks south of me. He's got cars parked all over his yard. He usually has a pickup with a trailer and it sticks out into the street at times. And it's just, it doesn't bother me because I'm used to it, but well, I think maybe, would we be wise for our city commission to send him a letter to obey the parking in the way it was designed to be?
We have, that is an issue. It's actually looked at with, the number of vehicles, and there is one vehicle that is actually in violation. The rest are not in violation, which is surprising. It does have, required surface on it as far as guys. So.
Don't remember the code off the top of my head exactly which number, but you're allowed up to 7 vehicles.
Which is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just thinking of commercial properties.
Yeah, I can't think of any examples there. The one thing that I think about, though, it's a little different than what you just asked, but on blocking sidewalks, there are a lot of places where people's driveways run through the sidewalk and cars block the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially when the sidewalk's located in the middle of the yard and not at the curb.
Right. Yeah, I have to go around one
Yeah,
all the time.
I walk right by that same one.
Or at least one. There's a second one that sometimes does.
Yeah. But commercial, I can't think of.
Tequila sometimes gets to be an issue
Yeah, that's true.
on 17.
Yeah.
But that's really just backing out of their parking spaces on the south.
Yeah.
The same thing for Eckland's too. That's not so much parking, but when you got a vehicle parked there, it's hard to see to the right if you're, head south.
Well, so with that comment, that just sparked a couple Main Street intersections. So, because I drive through it a lot at 10th and Main, where the hotel is at, when people are parked in front of the hotel, it is very hard to see around right there, because that last parking space is almost at the stop sign.
Yeah.
Through on 11th as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it's a longer pickup
Yep.
Yeah.
with a longer bed.
Yep.
It's a full-size vehicle, it really.
It gets to be an issue.
So maybe there are, now that we start thinking about it. And I don't know how you really change that except eliminate parking spaces on Main Street.
Right.
Or you say no parking space so far from a sign or a stop sign or something, or something like that,
Paint yellow lines over it so you can't see it
Yeah, or something,
on those tight ones.
But we did have, as far as the downtown mixed-use district, we didn't make the requirements have parking requirements
Right.
as strict for that, for the combination of residential and commercial uses. As far as the number of spaces, but that doesn't mean as far as the placement of spaces that there can't be something adjusted with that.
That would, if you had a restrictive number of spaces, then what's gonna happen is what we have, we're gonna crowd spaces in closer to right-of-ways and
Good.
view lines and all that,
Yeah.
so that's probably
Like trying to
works
get
against
compromised.
each other there.
One I think of, because we're having to go through it on a project right now, is the county shop. And their parking lot in front of their building there, as far as now there's not that much pedestrian that goes out to Cattle Trail and down, but, you do have to basically go out in the street when the county is there. Or walk through the parking lot, but a lot of times they're busy in the parking lot too, so.
You keep talking, I keep getting places jogging my memory, so Max Jones Fieldhouse parking
Right.
lot, I walk by there all the time too, there's no sidewalk there, and when cars are parked in that parking lot, you have to either walk in the parking lot behind the cars or in the street,
In the
because
street, yeah.
people park right to the curb in that parking lot in front of the Max.
They do.
And not only that, I mean, they don't have lines and people don't
Right.
know how to
You
park.
don't know how to park there.
It's like zigzag there,
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
Yep.
It will have, it'll be about a month until it's fog sealed,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and
then
then
they can
after
paint
that,
'em.
then they can stripe it again.
Oh.
But for the next month, it'll be, wild, wild west.
It'll be random.
Yeah, I don't know, has it ever had,
Yeah.
paint? Okay, I guess
Yeah.
I never remember that,
Mhm.
okay. 'Cause yeah, every time I go there, it's like, okay, people.
Choose your own adventure.
Yep.
Well, okay, so we're bringing.
So I
we're
guess the
coming out.
answer to your original question is yes, we have a lot of
We have some.
instances of that going on.
We do have some, yes, so, so those were 4 examples from across the state. I came across a couple others, Zach came up with a couple others, they weren't included here because they weren't much different from these 4. And then, it came across one that, as far as Derby, Kansas, that was more getting the, it was reducing the spaces required, and then also not trying to base it on seat, which was one of the recommendations, trying to get away from that. So it does have, has square foot of building area, but there's only a couple different places where it depends on the seat.
Yeah,
And on some of those, the athletic field, that's gonna be consistent, you're not gonna change the seating for the athletic field. Or the church or place of worship, it's not often that the seating changes, so.
Well, in a place like that too, wouldn't you have a building occupancy number assigned to
Right.
it? You
Yeah.
could tie there, so doesn't matter how many chairs, you could just tie it to the occupancy.
Max occupancy
Yeah.
by
Right.
fire marshal.
I like how Derby's is organized. In
Mhm.
my mind, that one, like I was drawn to that one, like, oh, I can get through this really easily.
Now, it does have the single-family dwelling as one space. And I don't know whether there's a comfort level with that, if it's one space or 1.5 or 2. You know, it doesn't have to be a whole number. But if it's one space, that's just the minimum. They can always have more.
I mean, single family dwelling could be a studio, you know, 1 room house, all the way up to, you know, 5, 6 bedroom house. So
Right. Right.
Why require a one-bedroom home to have more than one parking space?
Yeah.
In a mobile home dwelling, only one space. A two-family dwelling, one space per unit. And multifamily, one space, and it shows it there, one space per efficiency unit, one space per one-bedroom unit, 1.5 per two-bedroom or larger unit. So if you have a multifamily, let's say you have 4, you could end up with, 6 spaces out in front or something like that. It then goes through a couple other things and then has the commercial units started on that side of the page and different types of things, and then something on the back side again.
When we talk about parking space, I'm just thinking of like single-family dwellings. Would a single garage be counted as a parking space? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, whether it's sheltered or not, whether it's a garage or carport or, what a lot of people have in front is just that
Right.
awning.
Right.
That metal,
Driveway and a canopy.
that canopy. But as long as it's at least one space for one vehicle off the street right away, it counts.
Okay.
But I have enough driveway in front of the garage that it probably fit 2-3 cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why I think you
longer.
just set the minimum at 1, and what probably happens is it winds up being more than 1, especially if they have a garage in the driveway, that's probably 2 right
That's
there.
2, right.
So, it's pretty easy.
In tandem, but it's still
Yeah.
two.
It's pretty easy to have more than that, and then I think if you start saying more, then it just gets restrictive, and
Yeah.
then they gotta have a wider driveway or whatever. Or back to that comment about encroaching on the right of way or the the line of sight,
Right.
that sort of stuff. So
As they try to shove them in there, starts to.
yeah,
We like our cars, so.
yeah. I guess my feedback, you guys can all give yours too, is I really like derbies, and I don't see a whole lot of things I would change. Except maybe look at some of those on the seat requirements to building occupancy requirements. So that way Zach wouldn't have to go in and count chairs.
Sure.
You'd just know what the occupancy was based on what the fire marshal said.
Yeah, that's the public assemblies and like theater, church stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that have that seat.
Vehicle repair business never has enough space.
Right, yeah. They're just not working fast enough.
What's that?
We're not working fast enough.
Yeah, things pile up.
No, I agree with you, Matt, on that. I mean, I like that too, for derby and with the occupancy. I think that's probably the right way to go too.
Yeah, I tend to agree. The matrix is really easy to read as well, so it's organized in a smart manner.
Wally, any individual opinions on some of these recommendations or examples? Anyone you like better than others? Wally, you have any personal opinion on these examples?
No. I'm comfortable with them.
Okay. Well, maybe we should work on adapting derbies to us a little bit. Maybe work on that occupancy thing a little bit, and then have something we could move forward with. Is that
staff will work on that for the next meeting.
Okay. Very good. Okay. We're gonna move on from that one. That was all.
That was it.
Okay. All right. So, just so it's in the official meeting, we talked about this a little bit ahead of time, but September meeting looks like we got a couple conflicts. So, do you want to toss out some meeting ideas? Looks like we could move it to the 16th, and then we'll just you can skip.
Yeah, if I'm in town, I'll show up. If I'm not, you guys press on.
That's okay with you, Grady? Maybe
Yeah,
that's
that's
just what
absolutely
we'll do.
fine. Yeah,
16th is okay for you guys?
Sure.
Okay, let's just plan on that, Kent. If that's
Okay.
okay with you, we'll adjust to that. And Grady, if we see it, great. And if not, no worries. We'll catch you next
All
time.
right, yeah.
Okay, moving on to reports. Grady, anything to report?
I had something, but I forgot it. Oh, no, that's what I was gonna report. I wasn't gonna be here next time.
Okay.
So that's it, yeah, that's it.
Curtis?
I don't have anything.
Wally, anything?
No.
Nothing from me. Kent? Zach?
Oh, there was,
Oh, there's possibility if they turn the stuff in.
And of vacating an alleyway and a street right of way.
Request, we got a couple different locations requesting to vacate the actual alleyway.
Really?
Yeah, or a street right away. The one property is out where they de-annexed in the Goodland Energy Center.
Okay.
They own property on both sides of the right of way. And so it's not affecting another property owner, and you can still get to it. Now, they own one side of it for 3 more locked down. That I'm not as sure of, because you can't affect a property owner that's not involved. So just want to make sure regarding that. And then there was a request, or it's percolating. Between Kansas and Montana, which is an extra long block. Can you bring that up in the screens? It'd probably be easier. Between 15th and 16th in Kansas and Montana. It's an extra wide block, and it actually has 2 alleys north to south.
Mhm.
And it has one east to west. So just one block up, Josh, there's the block. Between 15th and 16th, it's a big block. There used to be a mobile home park in the middle 30, 40, 50 years ago. But
Pair of alleys.
this is Kansas, this is Montana. The 2 sewer mains go north to south between it. And then there's this thing.
Mm.
Hmm.
So on this end, maybe requesting that alley to be closed out. Now, we'd still keep the utility easement, but I don't even know if any utilities. The sewer and the electric are both north to south. So, and the water is in front,
In the street.
with the radar. Yeah, so
There's some lots that are in the middle of that
they are.
block that would not have ingress.
There would be egress either north.
It's on the north and south alleys on either the east or west side of the inner lot.
And right now, this is one ownership.
Well, okay.
Well, even though it's 4 lots,
Could be sold as four.
it might, that be one consideration. But if it's not gonna be a request for the whole thing, it's really just.
Oh, it's just that.
They just want to close that.
So,
Okay.
which probably could be a reasonable request, but again, you gotta think about utilities and take a look at that for sure. And the vacation would take a recommendation from the planning commission, and then it would go to the city. I think. Did we find the actual? We gotta make sure that I think is the procedure.
I was going through minutes to see if I could see it copied into somewhere.
Right.
It wasn't copied into anywhere.
So more to come there.
Those just percolating, that's all. And
Okay.
it's only if we get an actual formal request.
All right, anything else in reports?
No.
All right, minutes from July 15th. Everybody have a chance to look at those? Any additions, corrections, changes?
Wally's name in the
Oh yeah,
first-
we're gonna fix Wally's name.
First paragraph.
There's nothing else
I just mentioned it, can't be sure and spell Hanson right.
we'll get that right, Wally.
Well, it's right in one place and wrong in another.
Okay.
Doesn't make me a whole lot of difference. But, most of us like to have our name spelled right, so
That's right.
That's true.
what the heck.
All right, I move we approve the planning commission meeting from July 15th, 2015, 2025 with the correction to Wally's name spelling.
Second it.
Moved by Matt, second by Grady. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? All right, motion carries. And is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn today's,
I'll second that.
Moved by Grady, seconded by Wally. All in favor, aye? Aye?